Okay, we're back here at NAB Day 2 live. This is theCUBE, SiliconANGLE.tv's coverage of NAB 2012 here in the Intel Studio Experience booth, where Intel's featuring all the latest technology and from Intel and their partners. I'm John Furrier, the founder of SiliconANGLE.com, and I'm joined with my co-host.
I'm Dave Vellante of Wikibon.org, and we're here with Jason Ziller, who's the director of Thunderbolt Marketing. John, thank God for Thunderbolt, right? We know well the challenges of transferring data and video files and the like.
For the folks out there who don't understand Thunderbolt, think USB, think FireWire, think of the storage attachment, think when you hit send on the backup or moving storage around, the hours that it takes to download video to another device. Welcome to theCUBE.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for Intel and you guys building Thunderbolt. So tell us for the quick primer out there, Thunderbolt. Give it a quick 2 cents on Thunderbolt.
So Thunderbolt is a high-speed cable, actually this cable right here, and it's the fastest connection to your computer. So it runs at 10 gigabits per second, actually in both directions at the same time. Again, that's faster than any other connection on the computer. It also supports data and video on the same cable, so you can connect to data devices like storage. You can also connect to displays or devices that are doing both functions. And then the third thing it really does, you're able to daisy chain products together, devices together, so you can set up a very nice simple workflow if you're doing video editing or something, and be able to have your display and your storage and your I/O device, I/O box and your video sources and everything all daisy chained together, up to 6 devices.
So give us a benchmark feel for 6 hours of HD coverage you might store on a TriCaster or a device. How long does it take to send that over? It's hours now on USB, depending on which USB you use. What's it now, minutes?
Well, so just some benchmarks that we use. So for an HD movie, you can transfer that in less than 30 seconds. For a terabyte of video, you can transfer that in less than 5 minutes. So you can kind of scale your numbers from there, but basically, yeah, it's minutes instead of hours.
So the big theme here at NAB is field editing and in the field work, and whether it's composite work or integrating multiple parts with software. This is a big win for that. I mean, honestly, and you guys see that as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
On Thunderbolt, where is it now with multi-platform? Because obviously everyone has a Mac and they have PCs. There's a mix of platforms. Big talk here at the show is multi-platform. What's the status of Thunderbolt with multi-platform?
Yeah, so as we all know, Apple's been shipping it on their Macs, across their Mac line for the last year, and we're going to see Windows PCs and computers coming to market this year. We're actually demonstrating one in the booth here from Lenovo Laptop. So we'll see a variety of different PC OEMs coming out actually in the next quarter, in the second half of this year.
So give us a little inside baseball as how you get adoption going on something like this, because in the early stages, it's sort of a roll the dice. It's sort of a crapshoot, if you will, but pun intended, I guess. But how do you go about with a technology like this? Getting the ecosystem on board. Give us the sort of hints on the playbook there, if you would, Jason.
Well, the first thing is, Intel's been working on this technology for a few years, and the first thing we did was we talked to customers and partners like Apple, like other companies that we work with, and tried to understand what their pain points are, what their needs are, what kind of technology they would want into the future. So we tried to create a technology that would last a decade and beyond, and be the fastest connection, be the main connection that can be for your computer. So that was the first thing, is we got a lot of companies kind of on board from the very beginning, and of course Apple was a very big supporter as they've rolled everything out over the last year. So that's an important first point. And then the second point is to really work with some key vendors to demonstrate some key products like the Apple Macs, like some of the early products that came out, storage, media creation products like Blackmagic had some early video capture boxes, Ultra Studio 3D. So those are showcase products that really demonstrate and showcase the technology and really show the world that the value of it, and you can do things that you literally could not do before. And especially for the people at this show, the media creators, it truly is, you can do things on your iMac or on your laptop that you had to have a tower workstation back in your studio to do previously.
So you get the sort of first penguin to jump off the iceberg in and get the rest of the ecosystem. You put some investment behind it, and then things start to flow.
Yeah, and a lot of companies are very excited about it right now. We're working with a lot of companies to develop products, so we're going to see the number of products in the market, both on the PC side as well as on device side, scale dramatically this year.
So talk about obviously we were talking about the democratization of media in the earlier opening segment around how the landscape's changing, and you know, I was just skiing a couple weeks ago up in Lake Tahoe area, and you can't look around without seeing a kid with a GoPro camera on their helmet, and with iPhones, massive amounts of consumer data. So, you know, obviously, that's a user experience problem when you have to download a lot of video footage fast, and even movies, right? However you're getting the distribution of those movies. It's still a problem with USB. What's the plans for the entry level? You mentioned USB kind of dominates that, obviously, from a market share standpoint. Where do you see this going down? How low can it go now? And what's your thinking around Thunderbolt being pervasive like that?
Well, as any new technology, you know, high-performance technology, it starts in the areas where it's needed most, like with these media creators here. It'll you know, work its way down over time. I think just like any technology, if you look at HDMI or other technologies that have gone broad-based over time. I think there's you know, several things that need to happen for that. But one of the things that we're looking at also is, in addition to kind of premium, you know, media creation type usages, we also see for like ultrabooks, for example, thin and light laptops, you know, that Intel's working with the industry on, they're very thin and very small. They have very few connectors. And like a MacBook Air is another good example. So it just has a Thunderbolt connector and a USB. And basically, that's all you need on the system. And you've got, you know, digital display, you've got high performance data, and then you've got, you know, USB to connect to the, you know, the billions of USB devices out there. So you know, we think that that's really a key area that we're going to be growing into over the next year or two. But that will help, you know, kind of really make it broad-based and available, because as we know that laptops are getting thinner and smaller, and tablets and everything, right? So,
yeah, making that connector work, right, if you will. So for the MacBook Air, you saying that's USB to Thunderbolt or native Thunderbolt on the device?
The MacBook Airs today have Thunderbolt and USB. Those are the really only two ports on the system. And we're seeing other ultrabooks that are coming out on the Windows side that are going to be similar, with very thin, very few connectors, and Thunderbolt will be one of those connectors.
So the roadmap is basically you get the ecosystem to adopt. I mean, you're pretty much proven the technology now. Now you're broadening the base, and then from there it's, like you said, a decade plus of innovation, faster, higher quality, all those great things.
Yeah,
Talk
exactly.
About the roadmap a little bit.
And we, you know, over the next few years, we'll be seeing Thunderbolt move to higher speeds, and then the capabilities that it has with the data and video capability, and PCI Express being able to connect to really any kind of controller, any kind of data device. We're expecting to see a lot of innovation and products that are doing things with both data and display, you know, capability on the same cable. So kind of multifunction products that are going to be able to take advantage of both. Camera's an example, right? You have a single connector that can go, you know, do your high-speed sync to your computer and display the videos, you know, real time from the same cable. So the other nice benefit of it is that you're able to kind of do all these things with a single cable, with a single connector. You don't have to have all these different, you know, these cameras and media equipment around here today have, you know, half a dozen different technologies on them, right? Connection technologies. You can start to streamline that down because you can do everything you need to do with Thunderbolt.
Well, it's amazing innovation. We're really psyched for it. Totally relevant right now in the market. So congratulations. My final question for you is, being Intel, obviously Intel's enabled revolutions of great computing and software and apps on top of it. What do you see here at NAB that catches your eye in terms of the vibe and the storylines and you know, as you walk around the booth and look at the displays? From an Intel personal perspective, what are you seeing as the core trend here, or trends?
Well, I think it's kind of, you know, you're saying the democratization of content, you know, being able to do all these things. All of this equipment is getting a lot less expensive. There's a lot more capability and a lot more connectivity, and you're able to just, you know, do things. The average, you know, amateur videographer can do things that, you know, was only available to the professionals just a few years ago. So I think that's a really exciting. I think the title of the show actually is Content Shift, right? It's like it's really a dramatic shift that's going on in the world right now.
Yeah, and it seems to be a big tech show too. You're seeing, you know, obviously Intel, all the storage guys are here. There's a lot of tech and science going on underneath the covers.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's pretty exciting, and again, you know, Thunderbolt's kind of really in the middle of it, connecting up all these things and helping with that democratization and you know, being able to make this more broad-based for everybody.
Well, we talk about cloud, mobile, social, and data, and particularly big data. And so you got all those covered. Cloud, maybe that's the bottleneck now, is getting the stuff into the cloud, right? We can get it off the laptop. We can go to, use Thunderbolt, and it's moving fast, and then,
So we do have
that's
optical
the next
cables
wave.
that'll get up to 30 meters, but it still won't quite get
it's
up to
not
the
quite
cloud.
to the cloud,
so-
right?
So this cable here, this is the standard cable, which
Yeah,
is
it's
a
standard.
normal cable.
Yeah.
But I think it's important to note for the folks out there that the 30-meter cable is pretty fantastic
Yeah.
for a set like we are in here, the Intel Studio experience, because you can run it right around the entire set and have amazing performance. So I think that's a big deal, the
Yeah.
cable length.
Absolutely, and the optical cable is really the same as the electrical in the sense of the connector is the same connector going into the port, but it's just got optics inside that allows you to increase the length. Same performance, same capabilities, just get up to 30 meters.
So for the folks out there who can't see, I don't think you can zoom in, but it's a little lightning bolt that denotes Thunderbolt.
That is correct.
Yeah.
And just
Clever.
just so the status, you're in volume now. Is that right? I can go out and buy devices today.
Macs.
Yes.
Correct. Right. My Mac is ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, there's dozens of devices in the market today, and there's actually been, I haven't done a count yet, but I would venture to say maybe 20 announcements of new products at the show here, at least, maybe a few dozen new products that are being announced here. So, yeah.
Right.
It's the hot new technology. It's awesome, and it's one of those ones that don't get all the buzz on the big cameras do, but this is a key part of it. Jason, thanks for coming outside the Cube. Appreciate it. Thanks for your time.
talk with you guys.
Okay, we'll be
Thank
right
you.
back live in NAB Day 2 of the Intel Studio Experience. We'll be right back after this break.